On a clear Tuesday morning, the world stood still. Millions began their day unaware that history's darkest chapter was about to unfold. Then, in a blink, it all changed. The unthinkable had become reality. An American Airlines jet streaks across the morning sky, aimed directly at the North Tower of the World Trade Center. In a split second, everything changes. A loud explosion rocks the city. Glass and debris rains down as the world watches in disbelief. On this day, the tallest building in the Western Hemisphere would be the first to fall, giving way to a scene of chaos. People scream and run in terror as a thick black cloud rises above the burning tower. Fire trucks blare their sirens, racing toward the disaster. Amidst the dust and smoke, a lone man in a suit makes his way through the chaos. He's covered in debris, and his face is filled with disbelief. He looks up at the burning tower as a single tear rolls down his cheek. But there's no time to process what's happening, not when lives are still being lost. The emergency workers rush to the scene. They need to save anyone they can. But as they reach the building, the unthinkable happens. A second plane tears through the South Tower, and the world stops. It's 9:03 in the morning, and it's not just New York under attack. The Pentagon burns, and a third plane is headed there. But before it gets there, passengers fight back, taking control and crashing the plane into a field in Pennsylvania. The country is in shock. Americans gather around their TVs, watching in disbelief as the towers fall. At 9:59 a.m., the South Tower collapses, collapsing in a cloud of dust and debris. The air grows silent for a moment, then people begin to cry out in horror once again. And then at 10:28, the North Tower collapses, falling like a domino. New York is in ruins. Amidst the dust and the destruction, search and rescue workers continue their desperate search for survivors. They'll find some, but most of the 27,000 people in the towers won't make it. Soon, the country begins to grieve. Thousands attend candlelight vigils, holding up missing posters and placing flowers and personal belongings at makeshift memorials. The impact goes far beyond the loss of life. It touches every aspect of the American experience, leaving no corner of the country untouched by grief. At Ground Zero, the recovery efforts begin. But the road to healing is long and difficult. Debris covers the landscape, and the air is thick with tension. Workers sift through the rubble, searching for remains and answers. But amidst the devastation, hope remains. The American spirit of resilience shines through as the nation comes together to support one another and rebuild. The impact of 9/11 is not just felt in New York, but around the world. World leaders offer their condolences and support as the United States prepares for war on terror. Soldiers march through the streets, ready to defend their country. And on the ground in Afghanistan, the U.S. military takes action against the Taliban. As the world watches, the United States stands resolute in the face of adversity. They'll honor the fallen by continuing to fight for freedom and democracy around the world. Back in New York, the rebuilding begins. The site of the former World Trade Center becomes a memorial to those lost, with two towering beams of light representing the fallen towers. People from around the world come to pay their respects and remember the victims. Nearly 2 decades have passed since 9/11, and yet the memories remain fresh. On this day, we remember not just the horror, but the courage, unity, and resilience of the human spirit. We remember the heroes who ran into danger, the victims who lost their lives, and the survivors who rebuilt their lives. We remember the unity that brought a nation together and the resolve that defined a generation. We remember all of the lives lost on this day, 2,077 souls from over 90 nations who perished in an instant. 9/11 will forever be remembered as a day of horror and tragedy, but it will also be remembered as a day that showcased the best of humanity. As we look to the future, let us be inspired by the courage of those who came before us and strive to create a better world for generations to come. September 11th will forever be etched in our memories, reminding us of the fragility of life and the importance of cherishing every moment. Let us honor the fallen by living our lives to the fullest and making the most of every opportunity.